Jojo,
Good evening, my good friend.
good evening.
Or
Welcome.
how are you doing? I feel like I haven't seen you on here in a while, man.
Yeah, we missed you. When did we miss you? Were you
The
on?
watch
We
along, body bags.
missed a watch along, and we missed you on Friday too.
Oh yeah, Friday I was couldn't make it. That's right.
Yeah,
Feels
so
like feels like forever, bro. I missed you, man.
love you guys, man.
Love
Yeah,
you,
so tonight we're swapping out Brady for Joe because Brett can't make it tonight.
man. That's right.
Yeah,
That's right.
Brett's got a sick one, and his wife's not around, and I think the Zor's got a game tonight too, so he's got his hands full. So no
Hands full.
Brady. It's just just 2 out of 3 of the
So
three-headed
the
monster.
gruesome twosome.
That's it. That is it. And we're starting the 2018 novelization. So if you guys have been following what we did so far, we went through Halloween, Halloween 2, Halloween 3, and the Halloween 4 novel. Look at that. It's the last time you read 4 books in 1 year. I can't even remember the last time I read 4 books in 1 year.
So if it wasn't, man, it's quite impressive. I mean, I like the fact that we've been able to catch up and kind of add that to our knowledge of
Yeah.
the Halloween, world. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, so now we're doing 2018, and this is going to be so every book so far we've done has been split to 3 episodes. This is actually much longer. So there's actually 40 chapters. So I figured we could split up to 4 episodes of 10. Make it
Yeah.
so just go do it that way. And tonight we're doing chapters 1 through 10. And only thing difference is here is you'd have to either go buy the book or listen on Audible or some other place where you have to get a hold of it, because the other books we were lucky because that Slash Tracks Network, the Slasher Librarian, did all those novels for us on YouTube, so nobody had to pay for anything. So,
Yep.
but now you either have to buy the book or go on Audible. And I told everybody, I said, go on Audible because the first month's free. So I don't read books anymore. I don't have the time. I just put Audible on when I'm driving back and forth to work.
Oh yeah, it's convenient. It's easy for busy lifestyles.
It so is. I never thought in a million years I'd be listening to books on tape, but you know what? It's so much easier because I just don't have the time to sit and read. And you know what happens when I finally get the time to sit down and read? It's like at night, and I'll sit in the chair and I'll read like one page, and I'll be like,
Yep.
I'll never get through a book. So Audible
Right.
is the best.
I don't know what it is with age. I think I've developed freaking ADHD.
I just, it is. It's just I'm always running in a million directions these days. You figure as you get older, you'd be less busy. It's the complete opposite. You figure when your kids get a little bit older, they're much more independent. You have more free time, and then what happens? You take that free time, and then you fill up with even more shit.
Yep. I know the feeling. I know the feeling, brother.
So it's just a little crazy. Hey, what's up, Byron? Let's see if anybody filters in tonight. What's up, Byron?
Hey, good
What's
evening,
going
my
on?
guy. Good evening.
So, all right, let's dive in. So tonight we're doing chapters 1 through 10. Truth be told, there aren't too many differences.
Yeah.
In the first 10 chapters of the 2018 novelization. Very small changes. So
I'm
chapter
really
1.
looking forward to the titles of the chapters, because you don't go based off the names of the chapters in the books. You kind of come up with your own, right?
I usually do, because actually, truth be told, they really don't even have any names of the
They
chapters.
don't. They don't. So I like the fact that you take the time to come up with your own chapter titles. I love it.
I need help.
I love it, man. That's why we love you, Pat. That's why we love you, bro. That's right.
All right. So chapter 1 is just simply Aaron and Dana at Smith's Grove. It's just plain and simple.
Plain and simple. I love it.
Plain and simple. So basically, it starts out. It's they do give it. There's a lot more descriptive. You know how a book is much more descriptive of something.
Yes.
Because in a movie you're just watching it, so you don't need somebody to describe it. So there's a whole big description of how Smith's Grove is, and over the time how it's certain things have dilapidated and things have fallen by the wayside. And then of course, as Sartain refers to Glass Hill as the pit of hell.
Yep.
But Smith's Grove is also pretty run down too. So that's how they describe it in the intro. And so Aaron and Dana do arrive at Smith's Grove, just like in the film. So we're introduced to them. The scene plays pretty much the same as the movie, where they're sitting there and they're seeing the patients. They see Sartain doling out prescriptions to everybody. And then their approach to, where's the guy's name? Yeah, to sign a waiver, because they're coming into some place, and obviously you have to sign a waiver in places like that because they don't want to be held responsible if anything happens to you. the record player begins playing. So I never looked in the credits to see the name of it, but they say the name, that the song that plays on the record player, like that old big band music song.
Yeah.
So it's called "Pick Yourself Up" from Swing Time.
Huh. Never knew that.
Now we know. I didn't know either.
Wow. What was that again? What was it called, Pat?
"Pick Yourself Up" from Swing.
Pick your stuff up.
I'm pretty sure it's like either an old film or it's a stage show, if I remember correctly. So it's called "Pick Yourself Up." Yeah. So now,
interesting.
Now we know.
Now we know.
It's Sartain is seeing patients, just like you see in the film. Then we're introduced to the security guard, who's going to play into this later, because in the movie we don't know any of the security guards' names. So the security guard we're introduced to, his name is Koonman.
Koonman?
Yeah, this is they're I think Dana is like looking because they're talking like as if they're Dana, like, oh, I see the name on his tag, it says Koonman.
Okay.
And then Dr. Sartain comes in. I'm Dr. Ranbir Sartain.
Dr. Sartain.
And pretty much the same conversation with Sartain, like I said. We're hoping to talk to Michael before he's transferred to Glass Hill. Glass Hill is the pit of hell. That whole conversation.
Yeah.
And the whole thing, how he was a student of Dr. Loomis. He lobbied the state of Illinois to stay on the case. And then he said, which doesn't make any sense. This is like a dead giveaway. I didn't really dawn on me till listening to the book again, because I've listened to the novelization once before because I have it. Yeah. And the truth be told, it was like 2 or 3 years ago. So listening to it again, it refreshed my memory where Sartain says, about him being transferred to Glass Hill. So he goes, I guess they've lost interest in researching any further. It's like, well, this is a dead giveaway. It's like, well, they're not researching in him. They're just locking his ass away. You're making it research because you want to find out what drives him, and then that's where the whole plot comes from.
Yeah, he's the reason all this shit starts. Yeah.
Right. So that hit me when I was listening to it. I'm like, yeah, that doesn't make any sense. Doctors aren't sitting there saying he's not a guinea pig. He's put away there to basically be locked up.
Yeah, Dr. Loomis tried and failed, obviously.
Yes. So I thought that gave me a different meaning when I listened to it again. I was like, wow, I didn't think of that. How he's sitting here saying, like, I guess they've lost interest in investigating any further. It's like, well, they weren't. They're just locking his ass up till he dies.
Yeah, you're the only weirdo that's interested, I guess. Okay.
Yeah. Let's see, Loomis' speech the same. We talk how he lobbied after Dr. Loomis passed. And he said, Dr. Loomis was the only one who saw him in the wild, and he was sitting there saying, so he actually got to see. These are all clues now when you listen to after the fact of where this idiot's going.
Yeah.
So, of course, they arrive at the courtyard, and they describe all the patients to Mr. Tivoli. And
I love that. That scene, that opening scene, and the description of it is really kick-assery. It's really cool.
It is. So they're describing, and the thing that they're describing is they describe one of the patients in a wheelchair as being like a burn victim, which I know there was somebody in a wheelchair, but I don't remember them being a burn victim. They describe Tivoli, but they don't mention him by name in the novel. In the movie, he says, can you please tie your shoe? Mr. Tivoli over here has a fixation on stuff like that. Yeah. That's not mentioned in it. It's not mentioned in the novel. So I was
expecting him to say Mr. Oswald Cobblepot does not like untied shoes. Yeah.
What is it? Chester Copperpot?
Yeah, Chester Copperpot. I love it.
So let's see. So they're out in the courtyard, and Aaron and Sartain pretty much have the same conversation. Can I get closer to him? I want to get a sense of his awareness. He's like, oh, make no mistake, he's aware. He was watching you in a game in. And Aaron's talking to Michael the same as the movie, reminding him of his sister, saying, why did you pick Laurie Strode? Did she remind you of Judith? Why did you do that? And do you feel any remorse? All that, basically everything that was in this. Like I said, it's very subtle differences.
Yeah.
Aaron, but the only thing that's weird here, if you listen to it or read the book, says Aaron reaches into Dana's bag for the mask. In the movie, he's got the mask in his own bag. He reaches
for his bag. Yeah, he reaches into his own.
Apparently, she had it. Yeah, he reaches into her backpack and pulls the mask out. For whatever reason that was changed, I don't know, but that one I did notice. And it plays the same where the patients start to get restless and start going a little crazy, just like in the movie. And he does say something.
Title card.
But there's no title cards in there, so it just ends on say something. It's like chapter 2.
Nice.
So that's how it ends. It basically ends just as the film would start with the title card.
Yeah.
Very
Which is a
subtle.
really, really good intro for the book and for the film. It was a great reintroduction to Michael. It was really,
really was. I love the way that starts.
Yeah, and visually, you get a description of James Ducournau or the Shape's physical appearance now. Balding and all that shit.
Yeah, because which is good that they did that, because you figure it's 40 years later. His body's still human. He's gonna age, so at least they did that. So that I do like. So all right, so we're moving into chapter 2. Chapter 2, I'm calling Breakfast at the Nelsons.
Nice.
So now we're introduced to Allison Nelson, who is Laurie Strode's granddaughter, daughter of Karen and Ray. So Allison's getting up for a morning run. Now, all this is not shown in the film. She just comes down for breakfast. So she's getting up for a morning run. She's running, and a dog lunges at her behind a fence, startling her, just frightening her a little bit. Then after she's done with her run, she comes back, she showers, and that's when she comes downstairs for breakfast.
Nice.
And Karen's cooking breakfast down there. And this is a little bit different too. This is the way it should have played out. So Ray is baiting the mousetraps with peanut butter. Karen burns her finger, and Allison comes to breakfast right after. She joins him for breakfast. So she burned her finger, but while he was doing this, I think she burned her finger in the movie, if I remember correctly too. Wasn't anything serious. She was like, "Ow!"
Just no, it was like a quick, yeah.
Conversation about the National Honor Society ceremony is pretty much the same. How I switched everything so I can come and she's like, of course it's no big deal, that whole thing. And then Ray is then she said, I want you to meet Cameron tonight and all that stuff. And that's when Ray starts talking about Lonnie. I used to buy peyote from him. How the family's all fucked up. And then of course she asks, did you invite grandmother? And of course she lies to her because honey,
sure.
All that's pretty much the same. And then Allison leaves to meet up with Vicky and Dave. The only good thing about this chapter, which would have been nice in the movie, there's no peanut butter on his penis.
Oh, that's one of the best lines. One of the best lines.
Oh, God, I hate that line. But there's our buddy Brady. Yes, I did. I put the shirt on already. This is a shirt that Brady sent me. So I did get the package in the mail today.
Fuck. I literally running in late for this today. The package was outside my door, so I have it, but I haven't opened it yet. No.
I did because I knew the shirts were in there, so I'm like, and my shirt was all sweaty because I was helping my neighbor right before this. I was covered in sweat. I'm like, let me change my shirt. I'll shower after this. So I put on the new one. So
hope y'all are doing well. This book's fresh in my mind. I'm curious to hear you guys takes. Hey, Travis.
What's up, buddy? Yeah, thanks for popping in. So that is chapter 2. It ends with her leaving because she's pissed off at her mother for lying because her mother said she reached out to Laurie and she did not.
Yeah, I do like the dynamic that she's somewhat close to her grandmother. I like that. I like that they made they made it known that the granddaughter's close to Laurie. I like that. That was cool.
Yeah, I do like that because they just because they're on the outs. Truth be told, side note, my father and my grandfather didn't get along, but I used to go visit my grandfather and my grandmother every Wednesday.
Yeah,
but
it's funny how that works, right?
Yeah, I mean they just never got along, never saw eye to eye. Fortunately, they made up right before he passed. But yeah, I used to go down every Wednesday, go visit my grandmother and grandfather. And my father did for years when my grandmother was alive. It didn't, but he only went because he wanted to see his mother because he hated his father. And then when my grandmother passed, he stopped going. So I just went by myself.
Sheesh.
So yeah,
that's rough.
But they did at least made their peace before my grandfather passed. But
that's important. Yeah.
Chapter 3.
Chapter 3
is Vicky and Dave.
Nice.
Vicky and Dave, Virginia Gardner, and what the hell you call it? Susan Sarandon's son, Miles Robbins.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So, all right, so here we go. We got Vicky and Dave coming in. So they're walking to school with Vicky and Dave. Dave's lighting up a joint, just like in the film.
A doobie, some would say.
And they're saying, "Why are you smoking this?" Of course, and he's saying, "Oh, I got to raise my bullshit tolerance for school." Because he's a smart ass. And then Vicky asks, of course, what's wrong, because she could tell Allison's upset. And then, of course, they go into the whole conversation like the film, where she explains, well, my mother lied to me because she said that she talked to my grandmother when she didn't, because I called her to invite her. So she's lying to me. And then, of course, the whole conversation, does she ever talk about it? And then like, oh, that's all she ever does. And then, of course, he says, aren't they brother and sister? That whole,
like, no, they're not.
They're not. It's just all the same. Yeah. So like I said, a lot of conversations pretty much the same.
And that part right there was the big bummer for me, because I love the fact that they were brother and sister in the original 1 and 2. The fact that, this was the, I guess the third, right? Is this considered the third sequel? Right? Because you got H1, H2, then you got Rob Zombie 1 and 2, and then you have H1 to 18, right? So this is considered, right?
I see. Yeah, they'd be like it's basically the third sequel to the first, to the
first, right? Yeah. So for me, I like the fact that they were brother and sister from the original 1 and 2. I'm kind of ticked off that they changed that. I didn't like that. I hated that part, but that's just my 2 cents on that part.
Exactly. I didn't mind it either way, but had they stayed with the brother and sister route, I think they could have made it work.
Yeah, and to me, that's a driving force. That's a reason to want to kill a mother sucker. You know what I mean? It's like you just have this evil hatred in you, whatever's driving you to kill your family. Like, it's just that she's a rando. I didn't buy that for 1 second. I didn't like that.
The podcast is a much more narcissistic in the book, specifically Aaron, who comes off more genuine in the movie. True. Yeah, I can see that. And during the breakfast scene, Karen burns her fingers, right? And we mentioned that. And Ray cuts his, remarking, it's a bad morning for fingers, saying that Michael getting his fingers blown off later. That's true. I guess you could see that. You could see it that way. Yeah, I'm just glad they didn't have the peanut butter on his penis in the book. I'm sorry. I mean, you want to see like, oh man, I got peanut butter on my pants, or I got peanut butter on my dick, or something. But I don't know why. It just does not sound right.
Somebody wrote that and thought it was a good idea.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Fucking Danny McBride.
Probably. So that whole conversation, Vicky's asking what's wrong, and then they're going back and forth. And Dave's chiming in. She keeps telling him to shut up, Dave. Just shut up, Dave.
Shut
up. Then the conversation about Lori and Michael takes place just like in the film. Shut up, Dave. And then Dave blows up the pumpkin just like in the film. Oh, you mind if I blow up this pumpkin? And like, sure, do it. So they blow up the pumpkin. Nice. And that's how that chapter ends.
Very nice.
Oh, Ryan is in the house. Good evening, my fellow Myers.
Underwood, up to no good. What's up, Ryan?
Ray's also much more serious in the book, angry at Karen for lying to Allison. True. Yeah.
Good shit. Good shit, Travis.
All right, so we're going to chapter 4. Chapter 4 is Laurie Strode's compound.
Oh, God.
This is where we're introduced to Rambo Strode.
Fucking love it. Fucking T2 fucking Linda Hamilton and shit.
Yeah.
Fuck.
All right, so we're going to chapter 4, Laurie Strode's compound. So it flashes to Laurie Strode's backyard shooting range, and she's shooting at the mannequins like in the film. And there's a lot more stuff going on in her head here that you don't see in the film. Laurie's inside her head. She's thinking about all that has happened and about her strained relationship with her family, and maybe she didn't make the best choices, maybe by doing what she did. Then she starts practicing again. She blows the head off a mannequin and they make a note of it saying it's got like a white face on it, sort of like the white mask. And she throws all her guns and ammo into her truck and drives back to her house. So I guess it's must be far back in the distance, which I guess it doesn't really make notice of that in the book, because I don't remember her driving.
She's just in the middle of nowhere. Yeah,
I thought she just walked, but they make a note of it that she's actually driving. So I guess it's further back than in the film. And she's back in her dining room. She's cleaning her guns, just like in the film. And she's thinking to herself, you always got to clean your guns, because there could be that one moment where, you got to make sure everything works right when the time comes. And she's thinking when the time comes, because she knows it's coming. She's not when, if. She's like, I know at some point it's going to happen. Yep. So she said when instead of if. So let's see. She's cleaning. And then she's Aaron and Dana driving up to Laurie's house, just like in the film, and they're chatting away in the car. They arrive at Laurie's gate. The intercom, pretty much the same dialogue as the film, where Dana Hansen says, oh, you might need this, gives her the money. He's like, well, journalists don't pay for interviews, but that whole dialogue took place. So in here, you got Lori thinking, I guess over time, it's popped into her head about just ending it all, just killing herself. So she's sitting there. She's got one bullet. She puts it in the revolver, spins it, and just sitting there thinking, like, I could just end this now and just be over with all of this nonsense. So as she's contemplating it, the intercom rings. So the intercom buzzes and so basically pulled her out of those thoughts. Intercom conversation pretty much the same. We're podcasters. We've come a long way. Yada yada yada. Let me see if I can catch up here.
Okay, you got some reading to do.
I'll be home around 8 if you guys want to chat about Sunday. Yeah, we'll definitely be on afterwards and we'll chat and get everything set up. Travis says, interesting thing to note is the wardrobe is almost verbatim between page and screen, showing it was written in very close proximity. Yeah, true. And the structure is interesting as Lori is shown right after the opening scene as opposed to building to her mysteriously. And Lori's drinking strawberry milk. That's a go. I didn't even put that in there because it makes note of her drinking strawberry milk, but for whatever reason, I don't, sometimes just descriptive things. But I didn't put that together, Travis. That's actually pretty good. How she's drinking strawberry milk, and then Corey's always drinking chocolate milk. It ends.
Huh. They're definitely enemies at that point. Definitely.
An interview was meant to establish Lori being frozen in time. Pretty cool. I like that. The gun range scene is interesting as it happens before the podcasters get there, where the film shows it after, making it seem like she's doing it as a reaction to them. Yeah. Well, no, the gun range scene, no, it was right before they arrived. When she's shooting in her yard,
that's before.
It's right before the podcasters.
Yeah, and then they get there, and then she talks to them and all that.
She was inside cleaning her gun and all that stuff, and having the strawberry milk. Let's see, Lori putting the whole thing here where they lose intercom conversations. So of course offers the $3,000. Then the gate opens up. They arrive at her front door. Lori looks out to make sure they are not armed. She's always on to make sure she's okay. And that is chapter 4 as they're arriving.
Yes,
they're arriving at her front door and she's letting them in. So that is the end of chapter 4.
Nice.
Yeah, it's just right before because she was doing all that stuff, and then when she was drinking the strawberry milk, you don't see. I think there if I remember correctly, one of the deleted scenes is her drinking the strawberry milk, and playing with the gun as if she was contemplating suicide, and then the intercom rings, and then that's when she goes and answers the intercom. So it actually was shot; it just didn't appear in the film. So I remember it being a cut scene. There's a lot of cut scene stuff in the novel. So you'll definitely see that. That I do remember. So that's chapter 4. Chapter 5, Lori's $3,000 interview.
Very nice. Waste of money, I say.
Let me give me $3,000. You can interview me anytime you want, man. Shit I could buy at the convention with that.
That's right.
So Lori opens up the door and all the locks. Because with them, she got like all these fucking deadbolts on these locks. Lets Aaron and Dana enter her house, and Dana's surprised how Lori looks normal compared to what her reputation has built her up. She just says, she's just a middle-aged woman who's aging well with the blonde hair and glasses. She doesn't look like, I guess she had this pictured this other sort of like a Rambo-looking person, but she just blonde hair. The only thing that made her look, she mentions, is only thing that makes her look anywhere near what people describe is because she's got that big knife on her side, which comes into play later with Michael. The conversation is pretty much the same, asking about them, how they do different investigations, how it sheds light on new investigations, and we want to know more about your story. She's like, there's nothing else to learn. And then of course, and then Aaron says, is it true? Is the boogeyman real? He said, you don't believe in the boogeyman? No, I believe in Michael Myers, but I don't believe in the boogeyman. Well, you should. I love that line. So that's in the book too. And they talk about Loomis's recordings, that they have all those recordings, which they're going to listen to later, and saying Michael, that he just wanted Michael dead. because he knew he was evil. So just to get rid of him. Then it talks about wanting to know why he came after Lori. Do you know why he came after you? Lori says she has vague and flawed memories of the night. And so there's really no new things you're going to get out of this. And then, of course, what tips her off and gets her pissed is when she brings up the whole
your daughter was taken from you.
Your daughter was taken from you. Rocky relation, 2 failed marriages. Rocky
she's a terrible mother.
Yeah, basically, she's just digging at her, and then that really pisses her off. And of course, Aaron mentions that they're transferring Michael, and mentions, maybe if we get you guys 2 together, maybe you relieve yourself of all this, and maybe he'll talk about it. And she's like, yeah, I know he's being transferred. And of course, she wants nothing to do with that. Then basically ends the same way as the film. Walks to the door and says, "I'll take my payment. Get out.
Get the
fuck out of Dodge.
Give
me my money. Get the hell out."
That's right. She just used them for the money. She wasn't trying to give them any kind of valuable information.
The book, Aaron mentions Lori by name to Michael, which gets a reaction, unlike the film, which leaves it a mystery if he's actually after her. Yeah, now you got me, because I did watch it the other day and I forgot. So I guess he doesn't mention Lori by name in the film. No, he doesn't. Because he talks about the people that are involved. Do you feel remorse? But yeah, he does not mention Lori by name like he does in the book. True.
Yeah.
This is very true. That is chapter 5.
Very nice.
All right. So there we go now. The chapter 6. Chapter 6, we're going to meet Cameron and Oscar.
Nice. Douche number 1 and douche number 2.
Pretty much. Chapter 6. So now we're going to go to school. We're going to Haddonfield High School hallway, where Allison is at her locker and Cameron sneaks up behind her and scares her, just like in the film. And their conversation is talking about, their costume, how they're going to be Bonnie and Clyde. And of course, they're going to be switching the roles. And she's more concerned with the night, saying, I'm more concerned with the dinner tonight. Are you going to come meet my family for the National Honor Society induction? And then, of course, Oscar shows up just like that and talks about their costumes. They were supposed to go as Tango and Cash, which I found odd that this is 2018. Like, why would these kids in high school even know who Tango and Cash even is?
Yeah, that seems kind of weird.
So I always thought that was I always thought that was strong. Like, Tango and Cash. I mean, we know but it's like the kids in high school in 2018. What the hell they know who Tango and Cash is? Maybe
they have no idea.
Even if they knew and they dressed up, they're gonna show up at a party. People are like, who are you?
Yeah, exactly. They don't like those costumes aren't like well defined.
Yeah.
It's gonna be like
I mean, like, you look at Resurrection where they go to the party and they're dressed like Men in Black. Well, Men in Black was popular at that time, so obviously.
Or I thought it was Pulp Fiction.
I'm sorry, it was Pulp Fiction. You're correct.
Yeah, see, but again, you can confuse that. Yeah, you can confuse that. But
because it's either or. But either way,
Tango and Cash.
They were both popular at the time. Tango and Cash. It's like, what the hell? Was it something from the 80s?
It's not that popular. I mean, it's a cult classic, but it's not like fucking.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yes, it's a Buddy Brett. She's the hottest National Honor Society girl I've ever seen.
Oh yeah,
this is true. Yeah, I guess most of them. Yeah. Although I'll shout out to my daughter. My daughter's pretty, and she's in the National Honor Society too.
That's right.
Yes, she is. Jump off the old block. They're always watching old movies in this trilogy. Yeah, you know what? Because it's because of people that wrote it.
Yeah, they're it's all that nostalgia shit.
Because in the film, 2018, you see when Virginia, I keep wanting to say Virginia Gardner, when Vicky's watching the little kid. Why am I drawing a blank on his name now?
Who?
Vicky, the kid that she's watching when Michael kills her with the boyfriend.
Oh, the little boy.
The little boy. Well, I'm totally drawing a blank on his name. Julian,
that's right.
Yeah, when they're sitting there, he's watching Repo Man.
Yeah,
like what? I'm like, and then in the next one, are they watching Time Bandits in the next one? They're watching something else in one of the other movies. But I'm like, I remember seeing it in the theater. I'm like, are they watching Repo Man? What the hell does this kid know anything about Repo Man for? That's from that's like 1983, 84. Yeah,
they don't know anything about that. They don't know nothing about that.
Yeah, totally weird. So, And of course, Cameron, Oscar obviously realizes that, Cameron's giving him the boot and he's not going to do Tango and Cash. He's going to go with Allison, do Bonnie and Clyde. So Oscar's all annoyed that Cameron ditched him for Allison, just like in the film. And see where we're going from here.
Very nice.
So it does make this is interesting because this comes into play later on, and it also comes into play in the Ends novelization. When Allison walks away and leaves them two there, like in the film, she looks and she looks over and sees that girl Kim watching her and Cameron and listening to everything that was going on. Kim is the girl he kisses at the dance.
Oh, yeah.
So she's watching and listening to everything, and then she comes into play in Halloween Ends.
Okay.
We'll see. When we get to that Halloween Ends novelization, we're going to see her in the beginning of the novelization. So she
homewrecker.
Yep. So Allison is in class as they discuss The Great Gatsby conversation. How think about it. So conversation how past kids a hold on people and they can't get past it. Like it's basically mirroring what's going on with her grandmother. And of course, she's thinking about her grandmother and everything. So that's basically how that chapter ends while she's in class, but you don't really see. You just see her go off. Yeah. But here you see her actually going into class. What we got in the chat? Hey, don't fuck with Tango and Cash. Hey, I love that movie. Great movie.
Hey, I love Tango and Cash. Shit.
They're always watching old movies. It's got to be because of like Danny McBride. I would think putting in movies he loves. Well, I know Danny McBride. He's a big punk rock guy. That's probably why he has Repo Man in there because that's filled with punk rock bands. Because Emilio Estevez was a big punk rock band back in the 80s. The novels get better. The novels are really, really good. That's why, especially when we get to Ends. Ends is so much better than the movie. So much better. And they're watching The Thing in Ends and that one Van Damme. Yeah, they're watching. Was it Bloodsport?
Yeah, Van Damme. Quang!
Is it Bloodsport or is it Hard Target?
Kickboxer. Hard Target is the one where he got the mullet.
Yeah, I think it was Hard Target. I forget. And
if he's got the mullet, it's the one where it takes place in like Louisiana or some shit.
Yeah. Yeah. Allison is reading, The Great Gatsby in class. He's obsessed with a girl from his youth and he can't have using the caraway to get her. So, so they're talking about, and it just alludes to the whole, the girl, basically the line that's going to come up later with Oscar. If I just really want something, a girl so bad you can't have her. And it just sort of alludes to Michael, like, because he always wants to get her and he just can't seem to fucking get her.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's pretty cool.
They fucking died trying. Shit.
Nick observes Gatsby always looking out his window or dock at a green light across the water. The book ending with Nick looking at the same light paralleling the window and Radio Town Halloween. Very good. Man, you must. How long did you read The Great Gatsby? I mean, I read it, but I read it in high school, and that was 30 years ago. So I haven't read The Great Gatsby in 30 some odd years. I didn't see the remake. Did anybody see the remake? How was the remake?
Oh, you talking about with Leo?
Yeah, I didn't see the remake.
It's okay. I saw it, but I was kind of bored.
I'm like, you know what? It's such an iconic movie with Redford. I'm like, do I really want to go see it remade? So I truth be told, never saw the remake. So
you're not missing out on anything, brother.
So it was Hard Target, right? I knew it was one of them. I wasn't sure it was Hard Target but yeah, it's Hard Target.
It's when he grabs the snake and he punches it. The best.
Yeah, the idea that characters are using other characters to get a girl is prevalent throughout this film. Yeah, like what happens with Oscar, what happens with the girl Kim. Everybody's trying to get somebody else.
Sure.
It's like they're all trying to upgrade. It's like, I don't want this. I want something different. So chapter 7 is Laurie visits Haddonfield High.
Like a creeper.
Yep. So chapter 7. So now we're at the Haddonfield Community Center. So it starts out at the community center where Karen works as a therapist for at-risk youths. And I think this is one of the deleted scenes. Correct me if I'm wrong in the chat. I thought it was. So they're talking about her doing her social work there. She's having the kids make puppets to help them discuss their issues, thinking it's hard for them maybe to talk about it. Maybe they could talk about it through the puppets. So they're doing that. And the kids' names are Tyler, Cody, Mia, and they all have discussions in the group about home life, abuse, running away. So it's like all at-risk youths that she's working with. And they do make mention it as Laurie's driving there, and I guess it's in a real sketchy part of town.
Mm-hmm.
Real shitty part. So Laurie shows up at the community center an hour. Oh no, I had that order. So Laurie's driving through a rundown area of Haddonfield, and then she shows up at the community center. So she sat in her car and contemplating confronting her because she was like, let's get this out in the open. Let's try to bury this, and let's just try to move on from here because that night is the dinner, and she kind of wanted it to go smooth, but she didn't have the courage to go in there. She's like, I don't know, I don't want to go in there and bother her while she's working, and she's like, I just don't want to do this. So she drives away, and that's when she heads over to the high school. So she leaves and drives to Haddonfield High School, and then now we're back in Allison's class, and they're talking about Alexander Hamilton and the Hamilton play.
Mm.
And then Allison looks out the window, and she sees Laurie in that iconic scene, which is supposed to mirror Laurie looking out and seeing Michael, which I thought was actually very cool that they did that.
Oh yeah. Very nice. Laurie gets a lot of love. She gets to do a lot of what Michael did in the original.
Yeah, she does. She really does.
It's really cool, and I like it because it's a nod to the original, and it's just a switch. I like that.
They also watch in the remake. They watch Hard Target in the remake. Really? So is the remake? I guess is not set back in the 20s. I'm assuming it's a modern version, not just a remake, but it's also in a different era. I'm assuming because I didn't see it.
I don't remember seeing that part, but
I don't know. This instantly makes Karen more likable than in the film, in which her teacher scenes are cut. Yeah, because you see her working with other kids that are troubled, basically doing what she needed, basically what she was getting when she was taken away from Laurie. Yeah. So she basically, I guess that's what she did. No, they don't see a joke. I was wondering, I'm like, because I didn't see the remake. So sometimes the remakes that are maybe from a time period and they do a remake of it, it might be in a different time period. So that's why I was wondering. I'm like, if they did it in a different time period, maybe they are watching Hard Target. I don't know. Yep, he got me on that one. See, that's what happens when you didn't see a movie. I did not see the remake. I did not have sexual relations with that one. No, it's different, sir.
Oh God.
So chapter 7. Where did I leave off? Oh, she looks out the window, sees Laurie. Allison, of course, she gets called on just like in the OG. Then she answers the question, and that we get that great cameo in the film because the teacher's voice is who? Who voiced the teacher in the movie? 2018.
Oh, hold on.
Think hard.
Fuck.
See anything you like?
Oh, fucking Linda. What's her name? PJ Souls.
PJ Souls was the voiced the teacher.
That's right. That's her little cameo. That's right. Fuck me. That's right.
So Allison after school. Allison goes or meets Laurie by the bleachers. And Laurie gives her the envelope with cash. Conversation's the same. Like, use it for whatever you want. Take a trip. Just do whatever you want. And mom wouldn't allow it. She'll get over it. Then that's when she says, "Well, why can't you get over it? Why can't you put this to bed? Michael Myers is dead. You're letting it ruin your life. Just get past it." And then Allison, but I don't remember this in the film. Travis is in the chat. Let me know. I don't remember this in the film. Allison asks her if she's going to kill herself. And she said, because, sometimes when people are contemplating suicide, they give things away. So she's like, why? She's like, she needs this money. She's hurting for money. He's like, why is she giving me this? And she's like, no, I'm not today, kiddo. I'm not killing myself. They're moving Michael Myers. I want to go see him one last time. And so, yeah, she's like, nope, not doing it.
Sheesh.
So that's how that ends.
Wow.
And yep. See, Byron knows PJ was there. That was her voice. Gatsby is about creating a sense of artifice, fooling people into thinking you're doing well when you're really stuck in the past with one thing you never had. Pretty basic, but it's all over the trilogy. Yeah, I don't remember them. Did they? I know when she was in class and you watch the movie and PJ Souls is talking. Are they talking about that? I don't remember them talking about The Great Gatsby. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't remember that little part. Let's go back and listen to it. Let me know, Travis. I don't remember if it was mentioned in the movie. Yeah, this part. Yeah, certain point. This was not in the film, but it plays out nicely. But I don't remember them talking to the Great Gatsby in that classroom scene. I could be wrong though. I have to go back and listen to it, or watch it rather, I should say. But that's chapter 7. Laurie returns to Haddonfield High.
Nice.
Yeah, because I think it's specific to the book, Travis, because I don't remember when PJ Souls is talking in class. I don't remember them talking about fate, because I know they brought up the whole fate conversation in H2O with Michelle Williams. Remember, she looked out, and they used the same scene where you saw Michael in the court, behind that door. But I don't remember this conversation being about fate, but I also don't remember it being about the Great Gatsby. I don't remember what it's about, so I'll have to go back and revisit that. And that's chapter 7.
Nice. Very nice chapter, my guy.
Yeah, chapter 8 is Michael leaves Smith's Grove.
Uh-oh.
Sayonara, suckers.
Done freaked up now, but Laurie's ready.
He's like, I'm out of here. And if you think about it, he never goes back. So he's gone. All right. So now we flash to Dana and Aaron, and now we're at the Siesta Lodge. That's the hotel that they're at, because you do see them at the hotel. The only thing that's not in, well, actually, no, it might be later on. Well, I'm not going to go there because when we get to the other chapters, it might be there, so I won't spoil it. So they're back at the Siesta Lodge, and Dana's going over all the Loomis files to find an angle to try to entice Laurie into doing the face-to-face meeting that Aaron had asked her to do at their meeting. Like, maybe if you guys talk, maybe this could be put to rest, get it all out in the open. Of course, she wants no part of that. And Aaron's listening to an interview with Loomis talking about termination of Myers, which you hear in the film.
Yep.
Then we flash to Smith's Grove, and then Koonman comes in. It's that same guard. Koonman takes Myers from his cell for transfer, and Laurie's outside Smith's Grove, like in the film, and she's watching the transfer and she's sitting there with a gun because she was contemplating shooting him.
She's ready.
Not herself.
Yeah.
She was contemplating shooting him.
Ending that shit quick.
Yep. So Myers and the prisoners are walking onto the bus. Now there's another security guard that they mentioned, whose name is Haskell, is the other security guard that's helping out. Then, of course, Sartain gates on the bus, and Haskell's he's shackling all the prisoners because you remember they were all chained to the bus.
Yeah.
So Sartain sits and starts going through some of his papers, and Koonman asks him, like, "Why are you here?" Because they're just transferring the prisoners from one place to the other.
Yeah.
Because he didn't need to be there, because now he's technically not his patient anymore, because he's going to Glass Hill. But why is he there? Because he's going to bust his ass out.
Break his ass out. He's pulling a fucking, what's that movie with Van Damme? Where he breaks out of prison. Is it Run Something? Run Something?
I forget. Help us in the chat. Brady, still in the chat?
His buddy breaks him out of jail. It's one of the best Van Damme movies. It's like Run Down or Run Away or Run Something.
I forget.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
Paul Rudd also played Nick Carraway in the 2000 Gatsby movie, but that's just a coincidence. Really? I did not. Maybe one day I'll go back and check out the remake. I did not see it, truth be told. There's a lot more about Michael's rehabilitation in the book than the movie. Yeah, big time.
Yeah.
So where were we? Okay, so Koonman asks, why, what are you doing here? And he's like, well, Michael Myers is my patient. I want to see him through till he gets there. And the guy's like, whatever. Do whatever you want to do.
That's not a fucking security violation, but all right. Sure, take your word for it.
Did you mention the one prisoner that's on there? This prisoner is, they call Lynch, I guess is his last name, punches Haskell as he's strapping everybody in, and the little fight ensues. So he does manage to calm them down and strap them down. And then in the movie, remember how in the movie they flash back and forth between the voice of Loomis?
Yeah.
While they're talking about, Michael should be terminated. There's no point in keeping evil alive. That whole is playing in the background. So they do flash back and forth.
Yeah.
And it ends with him getting on the bus. The bus is going away, and the whole scene where Laurie screams because either she saw him, but didn't have the courage to shoot him, so she just screams, and that's how it ends. Yeah, and of course you see that little, like, an image of a shape through her window.
Yeah, yep. She got fucking PTSD bad, bro. Bad.
Oh yeah, big time.
Fucking bad.
Same with our Turkish doctor. Yeah. Sartain is much more outwardly suspicious. Very suspicious in the novel.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, that's good. That's right. They did not. That's not in the film, right, Travis? Good thing you brought that up. They were talking about. He does talk about his how his methods of rehabilitating Michael, and how he's not doesn't show violent tendencies anymore. And he's telling the podcasters Aaron and Dana how he left a cat, like a kitten, in his cell overnight, just to see if he would harm it, and it wasn't harmed.
Yeah.
But what's Michael's MO has always been, he really goes for people that are in his way. If something's in his way, he's going to take your ass out.
Yeah. Even if you're in the fucking vicinity.
Yeah. Or if he needs something, he's going to take you out. Or if you're in the way, he's going to take you out.
If you're a dog, he's going to eat you. Okay. I mean,
you're going to get to the point in this film later where he's walking and he runs into those little kids. You didn't take the kids out. Why? They're not a threat to him, and they're not bothering him. But something's in his way. You're going to take your ass out. Excuse me while I whip this out.
That's right.
I wish we got more Loomis recordings and kills. Yeah, I wish we would got a lot more. It would have been nice if they brought flashback to Loomis, not necessarily with Michael, because we don't need to rehash what Rob Zombie did. But it would have been cool to maybe hear some of his recordings and him talking and seeing Tom Jones Jr. as Loomis a little bit more than just that little cameo we got. They could have done a lot more. That would have been cool. And that's all. This is all fodder for a TV show.
Yeah, and nice man, by the way, Tom Jones Jr. He's a really nice man. Got to meet him before.
Sartain was definitely a lot more off his bird in this.
I didn't like him because of his sorry ass mustache. That shit annoyed the fuck out of me.
The sorry ass mustache.
Sorry ass shit.
So chapter 8, Michael has left the building.
Yep. Surprise! Dun dun dun.
All right, so we're going to chapter 9. Chapter 9, where is it?
I didn't know you spoke German there, Pat. I didn't know
Lori ruins dinner at Bellini's.
I don't think she ruined it. I think she made it interesting, but that's just my opinion.
Well, they all said she ruined it, so yeah.
She made it interesting.
If you were there, you basically you got dinner and a show, so
pretty much. That's right.
So they give a backstory of what it looks like in this restaurant. The restaurant is called Bellini's. No. So for her National Honor Society dinner, and you don't really hear the name. I don't think they mentioned the name of it in the film. I don't remember it being named that. So it's dinner, plays out the same with Karen and Ray, and Cameron and Allison, and Ray's talking about Lonnie. Oh, he's to sell me peyote and all that shit. Oh. So it's all pretty much the same. Then, of course, the whole thing about the costume party, talking about Bonnie and Clyde, how that's the costumes that they're going in. And then Allison asks about Lori coming, just like in the movie, and says, I don't know where she is or whatever. And then Ray's talking about they make in the book they make note she's pressing Karen for her to fess up that she didn't. So in the book she brings it up like, you sure? You said you called her, right? She said, yeah, I called her. You swear? Yeah, you pinky swear cross your heart, hope to die. So she's pressing the issue, and then Ray's joking like, well, if you want, I got a lie detector in the car. I'll go get the damn lie
detector.
And then Cameron turns and says, your dad's got a lie detector? She's like, no, he's only kidding.
No, shut up. It's not fucking meet the fuckers, okay?
So she does press. She was pushing her to fess up, and she didn't. That she basically lied because she did not reach out to her. And then Lori shows up, just like in the film. That's when she walks in. Cameron introduces himself as Cameron Elam, and she says, "Oh, you got a good handshake. Not all clammy like Ray's handshake."
Oh wow!
So a little bit of different dialogue there. A nice little dig at Ray.
Yep.
And then Karen whispers to Lori, asking her what's she on. It's like, what are you on? Because she was acting all freaking weird.
Inappropriate, but all right.
Yeah, that's when she starts drinking Ray's wine and starts upsetting everybody, and she goes into the whole bad mom speech. This is why we don't reach out to you. So it's a little bit more. She's a little bit more pissed off in the book than she is in the film. And
Ryan's really funny. Ryan's funny.
peanut butter, peanut. Yeah, right.
Oh,
So Karen's yelling at Lori yelling for. So then she's asking the waiter because she's like, "Oh, I want to, give me some like I think it was like club soda with lime," and she's making a stink. This isn't the right stuff, and she's causing a big scene, much more than in the film. She's causing a scene, and then Karen's giving her a lot of shit. You're embarrassing us. What are you doing? Let's start over. And then Karen's like, you were supposed to put the past behind you. You told me we're putting the past behind you. Why are you acting this way? So she gives her a lot more shit in the book than she does in the movie.
Yeah.
And then Lori walks out just like in the film.
Yeah.
But one thing she doesn't do, thankfully, is not in the book, is when she says, I saw him. I saw the shape, which is the most stupid line in that movie.
Yeah, it really is.
It's like, really? The shape? Who calls it the shape? Nobody.
Again, they just wanted to keep that kind of that they wanted to keep that part alive, so they had to make her fucking say it. It's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, when I heard that, I was like, "What?" I'm like, "That's ridiculous." That poor writing. Stupid. So thankfully that's not there. Then of course she's out. She runs outside, and then Allison runs out and hugs and talks to her, and tries to calm her down. And then that's the end of chapter 9. Chapter 9.
That scene reminds me of the scene from The Ballad of Ricky Bobby, where they're having dinner with the dad, and he ruined the good time, and they throw his ass out. Dad, we're doing good, weren't we? He's like,
I gotta go back. I haven't watched that in a long time.
That's I just think of that scene every time. It's like Ricky Bobby's dad's fucking it up. I told you to not put something on my steak, and you did it on purpose. And you fucking ruined the meal.
All right, we're going to chapter 10, and chapter 10 is Kevin and his dad find the prison bus.
Mm-hmm.
So Kevin is the
poor
little
Kevin.
boy.
Poor Kevin.
Yeah, poor Kevin. Because I don't.
Daddy.
I know he calls him Lumpy in the movie, and he calls him Lumpy in the book. That's like his nickname. I don't know. Yeah. I think they refer to him as Kevin in the movie. So we flash to Kevin and his father. Now this is where it's different than the film. Why they did it this way in the film versus the way it is in the novel, not a clue. So Kevin and his father are leaving Wildcat, which is a basketball game, a Wildcats, and on their way home, they take in like the old state road that they're on that you see in the film, and it's very dark and it's sort of a little hazy night. And that's fidgeting with the radio, just like in the film. He can't get any reception because he's complaining that ever since he went to the car wash and they bent his freaking antenna, they don't work right.
Yeah.
So it's all pretty much the same as the film, and I should have them pay for a new radio or a new antenna. That's all played in the same. And then they flash to Kevin, and Kevin's thinking, like, because it's such a deserted road, I guess, that they're on, and it's dark, and he's sitting there thinking, like, wow, what would happen? Because if the Bronco broke down, we're in the middle of nowhere. That would suck. If you shit runs through your mind when you're in a car. You're like, man, I'd hate to get stuck out here. That type of thing. I'd hate to get Munson down here. That type of thing.
Wait, what was that?
You remember
Munson, the creek without a paddle. Oh, shit.
So he's thinking about that. If anything ever happened, then he's So then the conversation here in the movie, he's having a conversation about missing dance class and how he loves dance class. Here, they're having a conversation about college basketball. So there's no mention of dance classes. I don't know where the dance classes came in. It would have made more sense for them to be talking about basketball.
I'm thinking it's just the times. Let's leave it at that, I guess.
Yeah, I'm not going down that hole and getting yelled at.
Yep.
He said hole. Yep. So then Kevin's trying to help out his dad get the radio station and not getting shit. And then dad looks out. And then that's when Dad, stop. That's when they look out and they see see the patient. So they see him, they slow down, and dad, so the father's wondering what is this man dressed like a dishwasher or an orderly wandering around in the streets? Just realize what he is. So he says, what happened to you, Haas? Just like in the film. And then Kevin sees the other patients, like, Dad, look at there's more of them over there. And then they see the initials SM on it, SG, Smith's Grove, stenciled on all their things. And the dad's recognizing that. He's thinking to himself, like, is that what I think it is? Because I guess he apparently knows what Smith's Grove is.
Ryan. Oh, I love these comments, dude. You guys are great.
Let's see. We'll go back to some comments. Brian says, I imagine Glass Hill looking somewhat similar to the jail from that would make sense. Like Ridgemont.
Yeah.
Hell of a night. It's not over yet.
Dr. Loomis's role is more ceremonial than anything.
I can't think the doctor from 4 should have been the Man in Black. Yeah, that would have made sense. What do we got? Sometimes I wish the last 3 movies followed the novels more closely because I love the. Yeah, and that's always hard because all the extra attention to detail tends to make the movies longer. That's why they cut it all down, and it's all about money. It's all about shooting.
Ryan's funny.
You can identify as an inkjet printer 5000. Oh, God. Don't even get me started on this shit. Some of this stuff my daughter tells me about school, I'm like, oh God, just fucking get out of high school already, please. It's just be done. Thank God she's a senior and she graduates in June.
Almost done, buddy. Almost
out of there. I'm like, just get the hell out of there. I mean, obviously some colleges could be just as wacky, but hopefully not.
One step at a time, man.
All right. So where the hell did we leave off? So, okay. So, now they've seen the patients wandering and Kevin's one of the hospital patients, but the father, like I said, he recognizes the Smiths Grove, the SG Smiths Grove, and he's thinking like, these guys are not from a hospital; they're from that fucking hospital, that place. So that's when he's like, let me go out and investigate, but he grabs the gun, and of course Kevin's like, why are you grabbing the gun? He's like, no, don't worry, I'm just because he knows who's out there. Why else would you grab the gun?
Ain't no fucking around right now. Somebody very dangerous out there.
Then, of course, he says, look, and he sees the bus that's overturned. And then the father says, Lumpy, stay in the car. I'll be right back. Grabs the rifle. And then he tells them, so Kevin dials 911 and informs them of the accident. And that's when the patient comes and smacks the window while he's calling and scares the shit out of him. Mm-hmm. And he sees the chains and handcuffs on them and wondering, like, and so wheels are turning, like, why the fuck do these guys have chains and all this shit on them? There's something a little odd. So he gets out. So they ask him, is anybody, are people hurt or whatever? He's like, I don't know. My father went to help. Let me go ask him. That's when he leaves. He grabs the gun and goes look for the dad. So Kevin comes across Koonman. So the guard that's on the ground is the guard Koonman.
Yes.
Which he's never mentioned by name in the film. So the guard that says, run. That's why you're introduced to him in the beginning of this novelization. And he's also mentioned again before. So that's who that is. Koonman. That's why I said it would come back again, because now we know what the guy's name is. He's not just guard number 1. He's gone.
Nice.
And then he sees it says, but the bus reads Illinois Department of Corrections on the side, so he knows now. Kevin calls for his dad, no answer.
Daddy.
So he goes into the bus and sees the driver with a broken neck, and he sees the other Haskell, the other security guard that got on with Koonman, dead with his neck all busted open. So he's dead, and then Sartain pops up, and then Kevin shoots him. Fuck! Yeah. He gets shot. So he shoots him, and of course he panics and runs back to the Bronco. Kevin starts the Bronco, and then what happens?
You know who shows up?
Mikey comes up from behind and kills Kevin, unfortunately.
Allah, what kill? Allah, one of the iconic kills.
Yeah, very, very Annie-ish.
Very Annie-ish. That's right. He likes those sneak attacks from behind. He likes those in the car. He likes
to give it from behind. Doesn't make him
get it. That's right.
Nothing wrong with that.
Like to get it from behind, little pap, little pap.
I've been reading these novels just to add some of the stuff that wasn't in the movies into my Halloween Ends sequel pitch. Yeah, I apologize, Brian. Byron's got a sequel thing. He's been sending me a lot of stuff on it. And I apologize. I have to get back and really, because he asked me some opinions on some of it. I have to go back and reread it. I've just been so busy, so don't take it personally. I've been busy as hell. And if after this, I have to get the podcast ready, pack up the trailer because we're going camping. We're going down to Delaware. So I just been
Delaware.
Like asses and elbows. Yeah, we're going to a state park down. Isn't it? Yeah, it's in Delaware.
That is super cool.
It's about a 4-hour drive. That's a 4-hour drive. I just thought how's it gonna take a 4-hour drive?
4-hour drive.
Look, you can't touch me talking to my wife. I'm sure you know where I'll be.
That's funny.
That's true. I forgot about that. It's a 4-hour drive. So that's actually how chapter 10 ends, and that's basically where we're leaving off with the book, the novelization for now until 2 weeks when we meet again and we do chapters 11 through 20. Yeah, nothing wrong with the surprise figure in the butt. Nothing wrong with that. yeah, just trim your nails so it doesn't pinch.
Yeah, no lacerations near the anus. Okay.
The anus ain't a heinous. More specifically, the novels from 78, 78 kills. Yeah. Now, truth be told, when we did one thing I do miss about these novelizations that's different from the OG, the original movie, is in that one it was oh god, what that Curtis Richards, whose real name is Richard Curtis, who wrote that. All the times that Michael was killing, you were inside his head. You felt and you heard what he was thinking before he wanted to kill. How he had a burning sensation in his body. How it took him over. Because if you remember in the first one, it was a curse. That's the reason why he was the way he was, and he couldn't control it. So you're thinking in his head like the times where he wanted to kill, but he couldn't because somebody was there, and he's like, "No, it'll be okay." He's thinking to himself, "I'll get another opportunity. It's going to happen." So you're hearing him talk about this shit in his head, which I thought was kind of cool because you don't see that. You don't hear him inside his head at all in any of the other novelizations. So I thought that was pretty cool about the original one. Absolutely. That the other ones do not have. So that is our 10 chapters, everybody.
Damn, that was fast.
Yeah, it goes fast. 10 chapters sounds daunting. Obviously, if you don't have the time. Like I said, God bless Audible. Like God bless the guys on YouTube that read them, because I would not have the time to sit down and read, nor would I be able to stay awake to read it. Truth be told. That's not because it's boring, but I'm one of those people that you get, Joe and Brett could vouch. I'm always up doing something, but like if the second I stop, I just like shut off. I'm like, I'm like Johnny Five. You just hit the button in the back. Johnny Five alive.
That's right. Johnny Five.
I just shut off. Yeah, my wife says it too. Sometimes if we're sitting on the couch upstairs watching TV, she's like, I'll be talking to you, and it's just like somebody just like your battery just died.
Yeah. Yeah, I know the feeling, brother. I know the feeling.
It ain't easy being me.
It ain't easy being greasy.
So that is our book club for tonight. Hope everybody enjoyed it. I'm glad. Thanks, guys, for chiming in. Travis, Ryan, Byron, awesome that you guys are following along and reading it. Travis, it's awesome that you're reading these books, and I appreciate the extra insight on some of the things that I didn't think about. I didn't really think about a lot of how the Great Gatsby really played into all that stuff. Truth be told, because I haven't read the Great Gatsby in 30 some odd years, but I appreciate that. That's really cool. Now, going forward, I'll be thinking about that, especially in the other novelizations.
You guys are you get an A for being awesome. Okay.
Yeah, if we were teachers, you all get A big time. Get you a big excellent sticker and put it on you. Mm-hmm. Your tops, all the stickers.
That's right.
So
the tops in my books, kid.
So we'll be back live on Sunday for the podcast. We're back to Sundays. Aside that we were did a podcast the last 2 Fridays. And if you missed our podcast on Friday, it was a lot of fun with Frank Riker from the Slaughtered Lamb movie podcast. Nice. They shouted us out on their stream today because he's in a real good time. So it was a lot of fun.
All right, Frankie.
So I appreciate those guys are the best. Looking forward to actually meeting them in person and H45. H45 is a week and a half away.
Isn't that crazy, bro?
Am I right? Is it a week and a half? No, 2 weeks. 2 weeks.
2 weeks. But still, that's crazy.
So it starts 2 weeks from Friday. How crazy is that? It seems so far away. And a week from Monday, I'll be already out there. I'll be in California. So because my wife and I fly out a week from Monday. Crazy. I guess I better tell them at work I'm going to be out of work for a week, huh?
That's crazy, man.
I keep forgetting to tell them I'll be out of the office that week.
What are you going to be doing? I mean, I know you're going to do a lot of sightseeing and shit, but it's like you're going to be doing a lot of extra stuff, huh? A lot of fun stuff.
Well, that's it. The wife and I, we're trying to figure out things to do. And I'm like, there's a lot of sightseeing we can see. I did tell her, I said, the geek in me wants to go take a ride and take a picture in front of the Brady Bunch house.
My guy.
Get a picture in front of the Brady Bunch house. So, go like to Santa Monica Pier. Just drive around all the different locations and just see different sites. And just never been to LA, so it's going to be fun. So you figure we got Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So we got 3 days. There's only so much you can do in 3 days. So we're just going to make the best of it, have some dinner, just enjoy some time alone, away from the kids, away from the goddamn puppies. Oh
man.
Drive me crazy. It's like having newborns again. up at 3
Man,
o'clock in the morning. Then they wake up again at 5, and I'm like, oh god, guys, you're just tearing the ass out of me.
isn't there? I wanted to give you. Don't they have that big pop shop there in LA? That big old pops place. You ever been there?
No, do they? No, I
You
did not know that.
you can have your own customized pops made when you're there. I believe, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know if that's LA or Vegas. I think it's LA.
If
If
it's
I'm not
LA, that'd be
mistaken.
cool. I'll go get one made up for one of me, one of the wife. That'd be fun.
Yeah,
That'd be pretty cool.
can't
Yeah.
remember. It's called Funko Hollywood, if I'm not mistaken. If I'm not mistaken, that's what it's called. Because my buddies went, my buddy and his wife went, and it's like apparently amazing. But like the line is stupid long, from what I
Yeah.
understand.
Well, as long as the wife is into, because these are her days. Because once Friday, Saturday, Sunday come, it's like bye. She's going to be going shopping this way, and I'll be at the convention. I'll just be seeing her at night. Well, basically,
So,
whatever
yeah.
she wants to do, make her happy. It'll be fun to just have some alone time. It's nice to just get away from everything and just do our own thing. Plus, we're going to meet up with a friend. I think I've mentioned to you, one of my oldest friends from kindergarten lives in San Diego. So we're going to meet up with him because he usually comes home for Christmas, and I usually see him. But this is the first time I'm actually going to go out. I'll be out there to meet up with him, so it's going to be cool. And he's a big Halloween fan. He'll be at the convention.
Oh,
So,
nice.
so you'll meet
Nice.
him. My friend Pat. He's another Pat.
Another pet. We have pet 1 and pet 2.
Well, I think I was telling Brett the other night when we grew up, there was 3 of us. There were 3 Pats.
Oh
There was
shit.
me, this Pat, and another Pat. So like, we'd all be hanging out. I'd be like Pat, and like be like 3 heads. Like what?
Hey, the 3 Patsies.
Yeah. It was the 3 Ps. Yeah,
That's cool.
there was 3
Oh,
Pats
that's fun.
that hung out
The,
together.
the
And we were
3.
all
You know what? What you call it is you change the name on the outside instead of the Mighty Shop to the 3 Putses.
the 3 Putses.
The 3 Putses.
And we were all Kiss fans, so we used to listen to Kiss. But Pat's also a huge Halloween fan. He's been to the conventions. He's been to all of them. So because he's
Oh,
been
no
out,
shit.
he lives in San Diego. It's
He's
like
right
an hour and a half
there.
drive. So he's been to all
Fuck.
of them. He's always like, when are you gonna go? When are you gonna go? And he keeps asking me, when are you gonna go on the Kiss cruises? And I'm like, put it this way, he's single. He's a confirmed bachelor.
Oh,
I can't. It's not that easy
that's
when you have
right.
kids. I wish I could.
Oh,
But
Brady
this
said he
time
knows. He
I'll
went
be
to
there.
that pop thing. Brady says. Excuse me.
Oh, he did the pop thing. Oh, I didn't. Did you show one that you had made up, Brett?
I don't know if he showed it.
he
I had some other
did.
friends that went and they told me about it. I was looking forward to doing that when we go to Cali. So I'm like, oh shit.
Yes, Byron. Chapters 1 through 10 are in the books. So we'll be back in 2 weeks on another Wednesday night, Hump Day, and we'll bang out chapter 11 through 20. The 3 Ps sound like a punk band.
The 3.
It's true. It's like, what are the odds of 3 friends hanging out together? They're all named Pat, and we were all big Kiss fans, and obviously Halloween fans. So I actually went to see. I know I went to see H2O. I think I might have been. I think part 5 and H2, 5, 6, and H2O. I know I went to see with him in the theater when it came out, and then I think that was the 3 I saw with him when they first came out. We were all super psyched. So, yep, we got to hang out with him. Actually, got to reach out to him too and just remind him when we're going to be in there. We'll have to hang out and meet up with him. So that's going to be a lot of fun. And anybody else listen to it after the fact, just hit us up. Joe's going to be out there. Brett's going to be out there. Go check out the video. I'm going to do some shameless plugs right now for the channel. So we'll do some shameless plugs and go check out my little convention thing I put together because I thought that'd be fun to just go through all the shit that's going on. So make sure you check us out on Sundays. We're live on Sundays with the podcast at 8 o'clock Eastern, and then Monday for the watch along at 8 Eastern. And
Yes,
we're streaming
indeed.
on all these places. So if you don't want to see our beautiful faces, you can just listen to us. And make sure you subscribe to the channel. It helps. You'll be notified about all this shit. So a lot of people didn't realize the podcast was on Friday. So make sure you go back and check it if you missed it. That's why we didn't do it last night. I had like 2 people like, oh, no podcast. And I'm like, oh, we did it Friday.
There you go.
So check it out. We had Frank from the TSL podcast. We had a lot of fun with Frank. It was a pisser. Go check it out. Just dropped on Monday. Our top 5 pets in horror. That was a lot of fun. That was you and me. Yeah, Brett was there for that. It was just Joe and I. So that was a lot of fun. Yeah, go check it out. I put up a video today where I go through all the different guests and the exclusive merchandise and just say, hey, look, if you're coming, let us know. We're going to be out there. It's going to be fun to meet up with some people, like-minded people just like us.
That's right.
So don't be shy if you're going.
Yeah, and I got a little announcement for all you collectors out there. If you're interested, like in new releases and whatnot, they're currently doing the New York City Comic Con pre-sales right now. So I was able to pre-order the New York, I guess, exclusive New York City Comic Con of Ghostface and
nice.
the glow-in-the-dark Phantom of the Opera figure, the GID, the glow-in-the-dark. So if you're not going to the convention, you can't get these items unless you're going to the convention, but they're doing pre-sale. They did it today, tomorrow. What's the dates? Are the 13th to the 15th. So they're doing them in limited quantities. So they release them for X amount of time. Then when they sell out, they stop. So today was day one. So you got 2 more days to get that Ghostface exclusive and that glow-in-the-dark Phantom of the Opera. So check it out. The Ghostface is dope. The box art is kind of like when Jason Takes Manhattan. It says "I love New York."
Yeah, that's cool.
The face is the face is Ghostface. It's fucking cool, man. The box art is amazing.
Nice.
So y'all check it out. Y'all check it out.
Check that shit out. Damn it. Yeah, so that was up today. Go check it out. Just a lot of fun going through all the stuff on the website and just chatting Halloween. That's what we do. Right. And 2 weeks we'll meet for episode 2, chapters 11 through 20. So make sure you come back in 2 weeks. We hope you have everybody with us so we can, I really appreciate everybody in the chat, and you guys had a lot of good insights on stuff. That's awesome. So we'll be back in 2 weeks with that. What else we got? I'll make sure you check out all my what ifs. So I did my Halloween, did Halloween 2, and tomorrow morning you're going to get Halloween 3 what if.
Nice.
So that'll be up tomorrow morning, and you can see the thumbnail there with the little buddy cover. Looks like he's pegging me. And I thought I'd get this out this week, but with the camp, it ain't happened. So I wanted to do a review of The Exorcist before the new movie comes out. Just revisit it, talk about it, and then be completely disappointed from what I'm seeing. So I thought I'll get it out. It's not going to happen this week, so probably next week. But I'm looking forward to doing that. What a great film! And all you collectors, reach out to us. And if you want to come on the podcast, share your collections. And if you're cosplayers, reach out to us. You got to come on. And that is all the shameless plugs, I believe. Yeah. Oh, and I did put this up. Wait, hold on a second. Where'd it go? 1 second. I'm scrolling.
Rolling.
Going forward, we're not doing a big order. It's just basically for us for H45. But going forward, this is going to be our new logo for the podcast. And we're getting some shirts printed up. So we might have some shirts available at a later date, but I'm rush ordering them. So we'll be wearing them at H45. So
hey, bro, that's fucking badass. Like I could imagine that being like glow in the dark, like the glow in the dark. So when in the night, oh, dude, that's fucking badass, bro.
I saw this because I had to change because the one image I was using was basically lifted. It's the knife in the hand from the original, which could really get sketchy because of copyright reasons. You put on these podcasts and shit, they don't give a shit because they're not making any money on any of this stuff. But t-shirts, I said, you know what? So I went on and I was looking at a bunch of different images and I saw this. I'm like, oh my God, it's like a variant of the H2 pumpkin.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, take it. So that is going to be our new logo going forward. So if anybody going to the H45 convention, just look for these t-shirts. You'll see us wearing them.
Yeah.
Obviously not every day because we'll be stinking.
No, I'm wearing them shits every day. Sleep, wake up, take a shower in it, everything.
Just spray it with a little deodorant, and then you just put it back on.
But hey, be all right. Be all right. We're big boys here. We'll be all right.
So yeah, that'll be our new logo going forward. I thought that was pretty cool. So I have to send all the artwork in tonight, and they said they will have it ready for me for when we go to for when I leave. So it's gonna be fun. Just what the wife wants. Just what the wife wants. More t-shirts like this. She's gonna be like, "What? You get another t-shirt?" So I have to get more shit.
So we have podcast coming up this Sunday, right? Then the following Sunday.
That's it.
And then that's it. And then we'll
be no. We'll have 3 more. We'll have 3 more because we'll do one the night because I'm leaving on the Monday the 25th, so we'll be able to do one more.
Yeah.
And I'll be leaving the next morning. Oh, look at this. We'll get Brady to say hello real quick.
Hello there.
Hola, senor.
I was like, I just got home from the kids' stuff, so I was like, you know what? I'll just get on while you're hanging up. Look at last copy at Walmart. I'm excited.
Oh, I did get
Dude.
mine. I did get mine today too. Yeah, I have it.
Damn it, I haven't gotten mine yet. What the shit?
Yeah, I had to go to Walmart to get my one of my prescriptions refilled, and I was like, "Oh, it's here! I got it."
Yeah, I spent a little time at Walmart. It was nice. So, yeah, good show, guys. Good show. Way to kick some butt. You want to chat about Sunday after this, or?
Yeah, hang on tight. Let's say our goodbyes. We got to get going, everybody. Thanks again for everybody that joined us tonight. Really appreciate the extra insight. It was really fun. Definitely appreciate that. And make sure you like, subscribe, all that happy horse shit. And then we'll be back live on Sunday night with a new podcast at 8 p.m. And that is it, right? So let me get my little outro here, and then you guys hang out. We'll chat. So everybody have a great rest of your week, and we'll talk to you Sunday.
All right.
Later.